shit show in Chicago, huh? Oh, my goodness. Triple H is 0-2 this WrestleMania season. By my predictions, he's gonna stroll up to the plate. He's gonna settle in quite nice. And it's gonna be another swing and a miss for good old Paul Levesque. WrestleMania season. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania season, chat. And it didn't feel like Chicago tonight. Rhea Ripley's going to WrestleMania. Randy Orton is going to WrestleMania. Shocker. Danhausen. He was in the box. And he got booed on his first night. Again, shocking. And Seth Rollins is back as he unmasked himself, costing Logan Paul the Elimination Chamber. Man, should I write for WWE or are they really that predictable, bro? We're going to the venue, Chamber Saturday, and we need a couple of cold beverages, man. We're going to talk about it on this Saturday night when I get there. I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Elimination Chamber 2026 post-show for your Saturday, February 28th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Saturday evening, wherever you may be. Gotta shout out my guy coming in big with a $100 super chat. Effing Raw with a $100 super chat. Couple of questions he asks. More likely heel turn, Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes? Would they have the balls to take the title off Drew on Friday? Now that Rollins is revealed, will they explain why Theory was the first masked man and how they are connected? EO-Mania match versus who? Hashtag OTS for life. Effing Raw. First of all, I want to thank you for the Unbelievable generosity here, brother. Thank you very much. Great support always. I got a great community. Love to see a bomb starting the show. As far as your questions, those questions will all be answered tonight. I'm going to try my best to answer them all throughout the entire program tonight, so please bear with me. I will give you the answers that hopefully you are looking for. You know, man, I know a lot of people are looking for a volatile, explosive, old, classic JD rant. Veins popping out of my neck, face beat red like an apple. You know, man, I'm tired. I really am tired. I didn't have any hype or excitement coming into tonight's show, so you can't really say my expectations were up here and we got let down. You can't sit there and say the fans' expectations were really high and then you were let down because WWE didn't give you what you wanted. Now, we can't do that. That does not apply here, okay? First of all, there's no hype to the WWE product. There's no excitement to the WWE product. There's no spark to the WWE product. There's no life to the WWE product. It is a very predictable program every Monday and every Friday night. I don't even think they know what the WrestleMania card looks like, and it's going to be March 1st tomorrow morning when we wake up. 7 weeks to go before WrestleMania, and I don't think the company knows what they want to do going into Las Vegas 7 weeks out. WWE had announced on their show tonight a little over 19,000 at the United Center. 19,000. WWE usually embellishes their numbers. It wasn't 19,000. Michael Cole gave one number, which I believe was the real number, and then WWE had Mark Nash give us the fake number, the sports entertainment number. Regardless, there was roughly 18,000 people in attendance in Chicago at the United Center. Bro, if you can't get the Chicago faithful, which may or may not be, depending on who you talk to, may or may not be one of the most rowdiest, one of the loudest, one of the most energetic crowds in all of the United States, maybe all of the world, when it comes to professional wrestling. If you can't generate any excitement with these people for a show like this, headed towards the biggest wrestling show of the year in Chicago, if you can't generate any excitement for these people, that silence should be absolutely blaring in WWE's face. Bro, I never heard 18,000 people this quiet in my entire life in the city of Chicago. Never. Never, never, never. It almost sounded like there was 1,800 people in attendance. The silence from Chicago tonight should speak volumes to WWE, its creative team, and most importantly, Triple H. The silence tonight indicates a few things. The product is fucking garbage. Number one. The creative is fucking terrible. Number two. And Triple H, number three, is not taking any risks. He's not generating any excitement. He's not taking the product to this new epic era that he loves to hype up. It's the same old shit disguised as WWE in a new era. And it's basically a take on what Vince McMahon did, but not as overly offensive. I wasn't expecting an Elimination Chamber that was going to top last year's show. Last year's Chamber was, to me, the pay-per-view / PLE of the year. Both chambers were incredible. We got stories. We got a return. We got the heel turn. Cody not willing to give Rock his soul. Bro, tonight's Chamber was fucking embarrassing. I'm sorry. Tonight's Chamber was embarrassing. the silence of the crowd, the predictable outcome of Rhea Ripley winning the Women's Chamber. Not like there was anybody better in the match, but still, it's an indictment on fucking how terrible the creative is on SmackDown. That WWE has a Monday Night Raw Women's Championship match with Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. And on SmackDown, a Monday Night Raw superstar is challenging Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Gee, are we ready to admit that the SmackDown Women's Division is utter dog shit? I'll get into that in a little bit. AJ Lee winning the Intercontinental Championship in Chicago against Becky Lynch. Danhausen being revealed as the mystery in the crate, only to get booed. And then WWE with the Men's Chamber. I'd have to go back and really just kind of involve myself in the other men's chambers that we've seen over the course of many, many, many chambers. This was maybe one of the worst men's chambers in recent memory. I mean, it all went downhill for me when I seen LA Knight botch that elbow drop. My God, I mean, if there is one moment on tonight's show, outside of Mark Nash calling Javon Evans Javon Williams, if there was ever a moment on tonight's show that perfectly sums up this Elimination Chamber, it was that botch from LA Knight. Randy Orton won the Men's Chamber. He's going to WrestleMania. And Seth Rollins came back tonight. Looks great. He revealed himself finally as the one underneath the masked outfit that's been running wild on WWE TV for the last several weeks. All in all, this show was terrible. And if you don't think it was terrible, that's your opinion. I'm not sitting here and telling you you can't enjoy the show. You can sit there in your fucking positivity bubble and tell everybody that you love pro wrestling. I'm a big pro wrestling mark. I love all pro wrestling. Shove it up your ass. I don't give a fuck. This is the biggest promotion in the world, making more money than any time in their entire history. And they're putting on a show that is not premium, that they're labeling premium live events. In one of the biggest wrestling cities in the United States, to a crowd of 18,000 people in front of utter fucking silence. You can sit there and tell me that this show was all right. This show was an embarrassment. Nothing happens on these shows. Nothing. And when they do, you call it from fucking 4 weeks out. You know exactly what the fuck is going to happen. The Royal Rumble sucked. The television that we got after the Royal Rumble sucked. The Elimination Chamber was filled with 90% predictable Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. Finn Balor versus CM Punk. Nobody expects CM Punk to lose the WWE World Heavyweight Championship 7 weeks out before he's challenging Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. And then we get to Chicago, and you sell these tickets for whatever the fuck you were selling them for, and this is the show that you think people deserve after dropping the amount of money that they dropped on this fucking show? I don't know who's stupider. I don't know who's more unintelligent. The WWE not being able to book their own television show in a meaningful and exciting way, or the people who bought tickets to sit in this venue tonight, to sit on their fucking hands and not make a sound at all. Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to WrestleMania. He won the Men's Chamber tonight in the same exact way. If you've been listening to me He won the men's chamber in the exact way I told you he was going to win it, because it was the only thing that made sense for the story that we were watching play out on television. I am slightly intrigued with this. Cody Rhodes does not need to win the WWE Championship back. He doesn't. I don't know why anybody would want to give the WWE title back to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is going to be the face of the company with or without the WWE Championship. You put the WWE Championship on Cody Rhodes, it's actually going to do more harm than good for the audience. And yes, the audience is part of the IWC. Or the IWC, I should say, is a part of the audience. Cody Rhodes winning the title back at WrestleMania is not the start after WrestleMania that we need. This company needs such a tremendous shotgun blast to the arm. Like, I'm not even joking. It is a company that dire circumstances are occurring right now. This is a company in dire need of something that is big. Something that is astronomically just fucking out of this world, mind-blowing. I can't believe it's happening. This safeness to the show, this let's hold each other's hands while we cross the street with the green light visible. This taking the old lady's hand and walking her across the street while she's holding a bag of groceries. 80-year-old woman. This shit needs to come to an end, bro. I'm going to need a little jaywalking in the middle of a busy fucking street in Manhattan with oncoming traffic. Big time. Take a fucking risk. Put it out there. I need Darby Allin in Manhattan getting hit by a fucking bus type of shit. I don't know what that is or what that looks like. But something needs to happen. Let's backtrack to SmackDown a few weeks ago. Randy Orton lost to Aleister Black thanks to Drew McIntyre. It was from that moment we all knew Randy Orton was going to be mixed into the WWE Championship situation. Because let's be honest, Aleister Black is a solid hand. Is he someone that I don't want to say deserves? Everybody deserves at least a WrestleMania moment or a WrestleMania match. But is that a big enough match? Aleister Black and Randy Orton for WrestleMania. Is Black creatively at a point in this current WWE run that you're going to give a single shit about him and Randy Orton at WrestleMania? If you tell me yes, you're a fucking bold-faced liar. I don't believe you. Aleister Black is basically Karrion Kross, and Zelina Vega is Scarlett. That's what they've done. They've opted to let those two go, and instead of bringing them back, they've opted to save money by letting them walk, and they just gave their gimmick to Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. I don't know what's going on there, but apparently Black is summoning the voices in Randy Orton's head, and Randy Orton is doing things that Randy Orton used to do without a single fuck to give. Cody Rhodes advanced. He was in a match with Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was handed that match on a silver platter. He opted to do the right thing and get Drew McIntyre out of the match, and Cody Rhodes opted to take advantage of Sami Zayn's stupidity, and he won the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Jacob Fatu got blasted by Drew McIntyre a little bit before that, and Cody Rhodes stole the victory. So with Cody and Randy in the Elimination Chamber, it was either one of those two guys who was theoretically the best choice to go to WrestleMania. LA Knight didn't stand the chance. Trick Williams didn't stand the chance. Javon Evans, Logan Paul. All of this is just garbage to fill the rest of the chamber spots. Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship back is the worst creative decision that WWE has on the table right now for WrestleMania. No matter what the match is, if it's Drew versus Cody, if it's a multi-man match with Cody, Drew, Randy, Fatu, Cody winning the WWE Championship back in any capacity is the wrong creative move. And I know they just booked Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre this Friday on SmackDown because of Drew McIntyre infiltrating the chamber, which I expected he would. Cody Rhodes is not winning the WWE Championship back this close to WrestleMania. Only to do what? Go into Mania and then leave Mania as the champion? That don't make any sense to me. I've called this to a fucking T for weeks now. Randy Orton needed to win the Elimination Chamber. Absolutely. 100%, no doubt about it. Cody winning would have given this same feeling that we usually feel with every PLE, predictable and safe. The fact that Randy Orton won was the best thing that WWE could have given us creatively. And the way he won it, sure, Cody looks like a fucking idiot, but the way he won it is exactly the way I knew it was going to go down. Sammy tried to do the right thing. Randy was going to be put in the same situation as Sami Zayn, but Randy is not going to fall for that bullshit. If he saw an opening, he was going to take it. And if he saw an opening, he was going to win it. And that's exactly what he did. He did not hesitate to hit an RKO on Cody Rhodes. And that's exactly what happened. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is the confirmed right now main event for night one of WrestleMania. I laid that all out there in the weeks leading up to it. Randy needed to win. Now we go into Friday. It's a nice natural progression. Cody's not going to win the WWE title back. That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. Unless WWE is genuinely thinking about a Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes one-on-one match for WrestleMania. And this is how we get it. And then we do Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis. This is way out there. I don't expect any of this to happen. I'm just thinking out loud, thinking theoretically. Randy and Cody would obviously be born from Cody winning the WWE title on Friday. Nick Aldis would get a WrestleMania match with Drew McIntyre. They've been beefing. They've been butting heads over the last several months. And the reason why McIntyre is defending the WWE title is because Nick Aldis is forcing him to after all of the actions that Drew McIntyre has gone out there and done. Consequences need to be had. And then from Friday night, we get Sammy and Jacob Fatu. Maybe they're going to wait on Fatu Cody. Maybe they're going to wait on Fatu Drew. I know Fatu wants to get his hands on Drew, but there's no better way to get his hands on Drew than costing Drew the WWE Championship. Is that the direction that they go? Fatu costs Drew the title on Friday. Title goes back to Cody. We get Cody and Randy on night one. Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis. Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu. Again, thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. I do not expect any of that to happen. What I do think is going to happen, I think we get Randy and Drew confirmed right now. Jacob Fatu gets involved because he can't help himself. Everybody can't help themselves. McIntyre couldn't help himself. He attacked Cody. He attacked Fatu week after week after week after week. Nick Aldis basically told Drew McIntyre, all right, continue to do what you do. Fuck around and find out. McIntyre's actions now have consequences. He tried so hard to keep Cody out of the main event. He tried so hard to keep Cody out of WrestleMania. He tried so hard to eliminate Jacob Fatu. All of this is eventually going to bite him in the ass. I believe Fatu will get involved. I don't think we get a championship title change on Friday. I think Fatu gets involved. And I do think after all of this, Nick Aldis is saying, you know what? I tried with this. You guys want to get at each other? Fine. Fatal four-way. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Championship. I'm not worried about booking Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I know Sami Zayn's been involved. Sami Zayn doesn't need a WrestleMania spot this year. With WrestleMania being in Saudi, I'm expecting him to have a major play next year at WrestleMania. So don't even bother. Aleister Black, also, don't even bother. Fatal 4-Way, Orton, McIntyre, Rhodes, and Fatu. That's what I think we get coming out of Friday's SmackDown. That big thing that I talked about, that WWE needs, that astronomically fucking, oh my God moment. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is. But if I'm booking the show, it needs to happen at WrestleMania. And it needs to be that go off the air moment that I don't believe they did. And it gives you a reason to fucking get excited about going into night 2 and then into Monday and then into Friday. Now, if I had the pen, without hesitation, I'd turn Cody Rhodes heel. That's just me. I turn Cody heel. I think Cody going heel is a right move. I understand that there's nobody bigger than Cody as a babyface for the company. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Company needs something. That would be the biggest risk of all. It would erase months of predictable television and months of the narrative of Triple H being safe. Turn Cody heel. Give Randy the WWE title, have Cody go heel, and go off the air with Cody Rhodes turning heel at WrestleMania. I don't expect them to do that because this is WWE. They'll probably end up doing the opposite. Which I don't mind the opposite in this case either. Cody Rhodes is not winning the WWE Championship on Friday, and I would not put the WWE title back on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I'm having Randy Orton walk out of WrestleMania, whether it's a Fatal 4-Way or a one-on-one match. I'm having Randy Orton win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. And I'm having Randy Orton turn heel. I'm having Randy Orton turn heel. I'm having Cody chase all the way into SummerSlam, where you do Randy and Cody one-on-one with months of story and months of years of investment in both of these characters. From Legacy to 2026. From the days of DiBiase and Rose with Orton to 2026. Cody, the face of the company, and Randy Orton, even at his age, at this stage of his career, still as deadly and as venomous as he was 20 years ago. That's the narrative. That's what you got to do. And more than likely where we're headed, because Aleister Black is the guy, the catalyst, that's going to bring out all those voices in Randy Orton. He's going to show Randy Orton exactly who he really is. That's where they're going with this. Again, I've been spot on with all of this up until this point. If they don't do it, it'll be pretty similar. I'm having Randy Orton win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Again, that other option with Aldis and McIntyre, Fatu and Sammy, and then Cody and Randy for WrestleMania. Again, that's just me thinking out loud. That's like a plan C for Mania. But I do think that we end up with a Fatal 4-Way. The other big thing that happened in the men's chamber, which, I mean, if you're looking at it head on, it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The cage door was left open. No referees were there. And then when they were standing there watching the cage door just remain open. Logan Paul eliminated 3 men in the Elimination Chamber. Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and LA Knight. Another masked man showed up. We had 2 masked men show up tonight. But let's backtrack to Friday. Friday night, there was an Elimination Chamber qualifier between Logan Paul and Jacob Fatu. Why? Because Jey Uso was in the chamber, and then Jey Uso was attacked by a mystery man. Another mystery angle with WWE. They love their mysteries. If it's not theft, it's mystery. Jey Uso was in the chamber. Jey Uso was not supposed to be in the chamber. Bronson Reed was supposed to be in the chamber. So they went with an audible on Monday, gave the match on Monday to Jey Uso. Jey Uso qualified, Come Friday, they needed to take Jey Uso out, so they did a who attacked Jey Uso angle, took him out of the match, and then ending the show gave us Logan Paul inside the chamber. So they substituted Jey Uso for another member of the Vision, which was always supposed to be a member of the Vision. If it wasn't going to be Bronson Reed, they were going to put Logan Paul in the chamber. And they are lucky Logan Paul is of his star status, because his star status made the Elimination Chamber bigger than if it was Bronson Reed. So he eliminates LA Knight, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. On Friday night, there was a masked man that tried to get involved in the Fatu match. This masked man was unveiled, and it was a student of Seth Rollins and his Black and Brave Academy. I don't know his name. He was a student of Seth Rollins. We come to find out that there was a masked man tonight, and they quickly dispatched of him and took him away from the Elimination Chamber before he could enter. They unmasked him again, and apparently he was another student of Seth Rollins. This was done by design. I've seen a lot of people on social media confused as to why they would unmask the masked man, and this would be it. This would be him. This was all done by design. It was supposed to lead you to Seth Rollins. It was basically like, the guy who's really behind the fucking idea is leaving you breadcrumbs as to who exactly is underneath the mask. I don't know why people were so confused by this. As soon as I found out that he was a student of Seth Rollins, that should have been the clear indication of who the actual masked man was. So this other guy gets taken away. He gets unmasked. We got a bunch of security and referees, and Adam Pearce is out there trying to get everything under control. The Elimination Chamber door remains open. And then we get a stomp by someone who clearly, if you looked at the size of the guy underneath the fucking suit, you knew it was Seth Rollins. So he stomped Logan Paul. Logan Paul was eliminated. And then he revealed himself to be Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins, I don't really know what Seth Rollins' plan is for WrestleMania. All I know is that he's been working hard to get back for WrestleMania. The fact that Logan Paul and LA Knight had a little going at it in the chamber, and LA Knight, I'm assuming, still wants his pound of flesh from the last time the Vision put him through a fucking rental car on Monday Night Raw back in November. We may be looking at Seth Rollins and LA Knight joining forces to finish the Vision off once and for all. So it'll be LA Knight and Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory at WrestleMania. Does it sound like a WrestleMania match? No, it doesn't. Does it sound like a WrestleMania match with some sort of stipulation? Maybe a Texas Tornado match. Maybe a steel cage match. Even at that point, no. No. And before anybody worries, we're not doing Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory, and we're not doing Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. That does not speak to me as WrestleMania. And we've already seen Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Who wants to see that again? The only question I have is Austin Theory. He was revealed as the masked man, and we had a lot of masked man situations. Is WWE going to tie up why he was the masked man first while doing the stomp, and now we got Rollins as the masked man, or are they just going to completely backtrack on everything and forget everything about the masked man from the very beginning? Never happened. But WrestleMania, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Austin Theory. Doesn't sound like much of a WrestleMania match, unless WWE has Bad Bunny in their back pocket and they're waiting to unveil Bad Bunny at one of these major shows coming up on the road to WrestleMania, where it would be Bad Bunny and Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I don't know. But WWE's got a lot of work cut out for them. They got a lot of work to do to get us A, excited, to B, make everything make sense, and C, give us the best WrestleMania card possible, because of last year's show. Nobody's coming into this year's show with any hope of it being better than last year, because last year's was fucking terrible. And we're not off exactly to the right start here with Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. Somehow, some way, the road to WrestleMania this year is worse than last year's. WWE abuses the Elimination Chamber gimmick. The door remained open, not only for Drew McIntyre to attack Cody Rhodes, but for also the masked men to get involved not once, but twice. At one point, do we start taking the Elimination Chamber to be just a complete joke? The chamber is supposed to keep everybody contained within and everybody on the outside out. Meanwhile, the last few years, they've done nothing but run the gimmick of let's keep the door open and we'll have somebody from the outside eliminate someone on the inside. We got it last year with Rollins, and then Rollins does it again this year. Rollins eliminated Punk last year. This year, he eliminates Logan Paul. Not really the most creative minds in WWE. The men's chamber was not very good. Up until the ending, it was not a very good men's chamber. The women's chamber, we'll talk about Rhea Ripley. A lot of people complaining online, well, this was the best match that WWE had at their disposal for Mania, Jade. This is the one match that makes it WrestleMania worthy, Jade. Great. I'm not amused. I would rather take story over something that gives me the big moment. We've seen enough big moments. It's time we start telling some stories. And Rhea Ripley isn't really the most unpredictable choice. And Rhea Ripley isn't really a choice that gives way to creating new stars either. There was one match that WWE could have done that would have made the WrestleMania card 1,000 times better than whatever the fuck they got planned now. AJ Lee won the Intercontinental Championship from Becky Lynch. Where are we going into Mania for that? Are we getting a rematch? Or is WWE going to go in a completely different direction? And Finn Balor versus CM Punk. Nothing really newsworthy to note. But CM Punk retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in one of the least shocking things of the entire year. The Elimination Chamber is a thumbs down show. And how can I forget about Danhausen, who got booed out of the fucking building in Chicago? But it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. He's already got new merchandise, which I'm assuming he's going to sell very well. And he showcased his jar of teeth, which I'm assuming is going to be a prop sold on WWE.com because kids are going to go crazy over that shit for Halloween. We'll get into all of it. I got a lot more to say. This is your Elimination Chamber post-show right here on Off the Script. It is your Saturday, February 28th, 2026. Tonight we are sponsored by Mars Men. 50% off and 3 free gifts when you go to mengotomars.com. I want to thank them for sponsoring the show tonight right here for the Elimination Chamber post on Off the Script. Follow me on social media at JD from LY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys are on the audio side of things, I would love if you leave a comment and a rating, man. We are kicking ass on the audio side of things. We are usually trending in the top 25, top 20 on iTunes and the pro wrestling charts on iTunes. So make sure you guys help us out. Continue to support over there. The shows immediately get uploaded to Spotify and iTunes as soon as I am done here for you guys in the morning. And you guys are showing the great support that the podcast needs, so I appreciate it. We got 875 likes. There is absolutely no reason why we can't hit 1,500 tonight. We got 4,500 in here. Make sure you guys go and do that. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. And if you missed any of the content on the channel, plenty of it Make sure you go check out the Raw Post Show, Tuesday Night Titans with the Salamonster, the number one podcast in the entire IWC, the best two-man show in the entire space. Wednesday night, we were live with the AEW Dynamite Post. Thursday, we uploaded a video on AJ Styles resigning with the WWE. Friday night, SmackDown, and tonight we're live for the Chamber. So go and check out all the great content. We rounded out February with a very busy week, so go and check all that stuff out. And this coming Friday, I will not be live for the WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. I will be in Chicago, believe it or not. Logan Square Auditorium, House of Glory presents Turf Wars. I'll be on the call with the Salamonster. I'll be in Chicago, so hopefully I will see some of you guys out there. I will be there on Thursday morning, and I will be returning home on Saturday morning. So if anything, we will go live on Saturday with the late SmackDown post show. So I will be talking about what happens on SmackDown, but just simply a day later. So make a mental note and make a calendar note. That's coming up in the following week. Start things off with the Women's Elimination Chamber. I need to make something abundantly clear. The WWE, I get that they sell these expensive tickets and they try to create an experience. I get it. They want it to be as big as possible, as epic as possible. Chat, has it ever been this bad? When people make their way out to the chamber, that they have to go to each pod and taunt and gloat in front of everybody else in the pods. If you come out first, you're out there doing a long-winded entrance. You get in your pod. The next person comes out, they go over and do their thing. They go over and look at the other person in the pod, and they taunt and they gloat. Then they go back to their pod. So there's two people in the pod. Then the third person comes out. They do their shit, their entrance. They look at entrant number one. They look at entrant number two. And they taunt and gloat. Then they go to their pod. Then number four comes out. They do their thing. They look at entrant one. They look at entrant two. They look at entrant three. They taunt and gloat everybody in the pod. And then they go into their pod. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? This used to be a structure that instilled fear in every competitor that stepped foot in the fucking chamber. Now they simply use it to aura farm. Bro, you want something to be taken seriously. You want something to be on a grand scale. You want something to be the middle of the road to WrestleMania with the utmost implications for how WrestleMania is going to shape. And that's what you do? Or am I fucking kidding me? Am I losing my mind? Should I be upset at that or not? The men's match was fucking ridiculous. Bro, the entrances took, I swear to God, I timed it, bro, 17 minutes. 17 minutes from entrant one until the bell rang and all six guys were in the chamber. Bro, the entrances went half as long as the actual match. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Holy shit. If there was ever a situation in pro wrestling where we needed to get to the fucking point, one company does too much and the other company does too little. I don't believe what I was watching. Oh, but JD complains about everything, man. I'm sorry, I don't want to see 16 minutes of fucking ring entrances. Just get to the fucking chamber. Who goes to WrestleMania? That's all I give a shit about. Who and how? And why? This is the 5th year in a row that the men's chamber main evented and the women's chamber started the show. I don't think there'll ever be a situation, unless there's a major, major story, where the women's going to main event the Elimination Chamber over the men. It's never going to happen. The entrances for the women took 13 minutes. The bell rang at 7:19. Told you I was taking time. Jade Cargill was watching from a suite in the building, all by herself. Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton started the match. Stratton tried for a handspring elbow into James as she leaned against the pod. James moved. Stratton fell awkwardly into the pod. Stratton went toward the pod at an angle that didn't allow her to hit flush with the plexiglass. She bounced into Raquel Rodriguez's pod. And Raquel laughed at Tiffany Stratton for basically, I don't know if this was a botch or if she just mistimed it and fell improperly. Raquel was in her pod laughing. Out comes Asuka next, and she went right at both women. She came in, was a house on fire. She beat up both women. She beat up Kiana and Tiffany. Double missile drop kick. Alexa Bliss came in next, and she took out Asuka and Kiana before having a face-off with Tiffany Stratton because, you know, they're both blonde, and they needed to have a face-off. Stratton gave her a rolling senton, went for the prettiest moonsault ever. Bliss knocked her off the ropes and crotched her on the top rope. Basically the same thing that Kyrie did on Friday night when she wrestled Kairi Sane. Bliss had the exchange here with Asuka until Kiana knocked them both down and slingshotted Stratton into the pod. So she went right into a pod and right through the glass. I feel like WWE does that spot way too often too. I remember a time when you went through the pod that it was something special. WWE did it 3 or 4 different times combined between both matches tonight. Way to kill something unique and special inside the chamber. Rhea Ripley came out next. She gave Tiffany a razor's edge into Asuka. Ripley and Bliss shredded counters until they wound up outside the ring on the padded steel. These new Elimination Chambers are a lot safer than the old versions were. Bliss climbed the cage to avoid Ripley. Everybody was brawling down below. This led to everybody waiting around and looking up like a bunch of fucking idiots while Alexa Bliss was standing on top of one of the pods and came off with a big twisted bliss onto everybody just looking up and not doing anything. I don't know, maybe move out of the way, or I don't know, maybe time it a little bit better where everybody doesn't look like a fucking idiot. If there is one thing I hate about pro wrestling, if there's one typical pro wrestling trope that is near the top of my list as one of the things I hate the most, it's everybody just standing around and they're just waiting for whoever's jumping off something to jump off so that they can catch them and everybody falls down like a bunch of bowling pins in the bowling alley. God, I fucking hate that spot. AEW is absolutely offensive with it every single week. Nobody makes it look good ever. Bliss set up James for Sister Abigail. Asuka misted her in the face. Kiana rolled Bliss up. And 13 minutes into the match, Alexa Bliss was eliminated. Now, Alexa Bliss was my choice to win this thing because it would have been different. Alexa Bliss was my choice to win it because it would have told a better story than no story at all. I'll get into that in a second. Rodriguez came out next. She went right after Rhea Ripley because they have history with Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day. But she was targeted by the other 3 women because she's the biggest woman in the match, you see. She shoved them away and proceeded to absolutely take out everybody. Ripley tried for a hurricanrana, which was not a good idea. Rodriguez caught her and slammed her into the cage and then into the ring. Rodriguez, you could tell that they wanted to make Raquel Rodriguez look dominant and make Raquel Rodriguez look strong. She gave Kiana James a running power slam through the pod. Michael Cole shouted out the British Bulldog and said the British Bulldog would be proud. So not only do we had Tiffany Stratton go through the pod, we had this situation where another one went through the pod. Kiana James went through the pod. 2 times in the same match. The more you do it, the less impactful it is. So obviously this gets a big reaction because the plexiglass sounds good. Rodriguez then gave Asuka a Tejana bomb onto James. And Raquel Rodriguez actually pinned both Asuka and Kiana James for a double pinfall 16 minutes in. So 3 minutes after Alexa got eliminated, Raquel Rodriguez eliminates Kiana James and Asuka at the same time. I know there was a vocal bunch who wanted Asuka to win because people want to see Asuka back at that main event level. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news to those people, but Asuka's never going to be a main event level character or performer in WWE again. Those years have passed. She's always going to be a middle-of-the-road talent that is great at what she does, and she's now at that stage of her career that's simply going to enhance everyone around her. It's not about Asuka anymore, especially with the youth coming up through WWE system. It's not going to be about 42-year-old Asuka. And this is coming from someone who loves Asuka and thinks Asuka's great. So we got Rodriguez, Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton. They were the final 3. Rodriguez was still dominant and still in control. She had Tiffany Stratton set her up for something off the top rope. Ripley found herself atop one of the pods. She was standing up there, and she chose her spot perfectly here. She flew off of it and nailed Raquel with a cannonball and took Raquel Rodriguez down by jumping off the top of the pod. Tiffany Stratton quickly followed up because she was already in the corner on the top rope. She followed up with a prettiest moonsault ever on Raquel Rodriguez, and she eliminated Raquel Rodriguez 20 minutes in. So we are down to Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley. Shout out to Raquel Rodriguez. I know it wasn't the smoothest effort in there, and she botched here and botched there. But honestly, if there was an MVP, in my opinion, it was Raquel Rodriguez. If it was second, I'd go Tiffany Stratton because not only did she start this thing, she bumped around for everybody. She sold. She ended up a little bloodied. So Tiffany had a very good chamber, and Raquel Rodriguez had a dominant chamber. She got a few eliminations here. So take your pick. Liv Morgan was last year's MVP. I'm trending in the direction of giving Raquel Rodriguez the MVP for this year's Women's Chamber. And again, she's in the Judgment Day. She's come a long way. When she first got to the Judgment Day, a lot of us wondered if it was going to work out. She settled into a very nice spot and a very nice role in the Judgment Day. So Raquel Rodriguez certainly deserves her flowers. Kiana James had a very good Elimination Chamber as well. She started the thing with Tiffany. I'm a big Kiana James guy. I think Kiana's going to be great. She's got the makeup of someone that's going to be a big star. She moves very well. Out of all the call-ups we've seen, Lash Legend and Jordan Grace, and we've seen Sol Ruka here and there, Kiana James is up there as one of the biggest talents that WWE is going to rely on in the future. She's got a good head on her shoulders, and I think she's going to be a big star. Crowd needs to get invested. She came out, she had nothing but fucking crickets. Hopefully people catch on. And hopefully WWE has something solid for her so that she may develop her character to these people so that these people can give back to her and invest in her. I think she's great. I really do. So the 2 predictable choices here end up as the final 2. Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Rhea had Tiffany in a razor's edge. Tiffany slipped out. Hit an Alabama slam for 2, which looked fucking brutal. on Rhea. She landed right on the back of her head. Ripley avoided a senton bomb. She was way too far away. I don't know why Tiffany even attempted it. She hit an electric chair face buster for 2. Stratton's face was bloodied following this, so Ripley delivers that, and she only gets a 2 count. Ripley went shoulder first into the steel post. Stratton followed up with a senton bomb, repeated the same spot. She went for a cover. She got a 2 count. Then she set up for prettiest moonsault ever, but Rhea Ripley shoved her off the top rope into a pod. Ripley followed with a riptide, and that was it. Rhea Ripley advances to WrestleMania. She wins the Women's Elimination Chamber. The crowd was happy. Rhea Ripley faces Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Fireworks went off. Ripley pointed at the sign because it's in the contract. You got to point at the WrestleMania sign. And Jade Cargill, they showed in the suite, all by herself, posing with the belt. Graphic was shown. It's Rhea versus Jade for WrestleMania. Outside of everything that we got, the match itself was all right. If you missed this match and you are asking me, JD, should I go and watch this? No. No, you didn't miss anything spectacular. You didn't miss anything innovative. You didn't miss anything exciting. I mean, if you want to go back and watch maybe the last 4 minutes, go back and watch the last 4 minutes. That's all this match is worth. That's basically it. Kiana had a decent elimination chamber. Raquel Rodriguez had a dominant chamber. She had a few eliminations. Outside that, this was as mediocre as they come. And after last year, WWE last year had the best women's elimination chamber match in the history of the women's elimination chamber. Liv Morgan was fucking great. Roxanne Perez was in there. She was great. Roxanne Perez went into the Rumble, outlasting everybody. She was the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble. Goes into the chamber as a great Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair. What a great fucking elimination chamber. Naomi's in the pod. Jade Cargill comes back. She reveals Naomi is the attacker. There was no way WWE was going to top last year's chamber. Last year's women's chamber was tops for them. Tops. So they had a very difficult uphill battle, even comparing the two, or even setting out to be better than last year's. They did not. Last year's, I tell you, go and watch it, best ever. This year, complete opposite. As mediocre as they come. Rhea Ripley wins. Was this the right choice? Guys, for everybody that's expressed their opinion to me, for everybody that is expressing that same opinion all across the internet wrestling community, Rhea Ripley is the biggest star in the WWE's women's division. She's one of the biggest stars, period, inside the entire company, both men and women. Rhea Ripley is a star. Rhea Ripley is one of their biggest stars, and Rhea Ripley is going to make WrestleMania bigger. The thing is, a lot of people were saying, JD, Rhea Ripley is going to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania-worthy match. JD, Rhea Ripley's the only one in this match that's going to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania-worthy match. I want to stop there. Jade Cargill is not WrestleMania-worthy in her own right. Jade Cargill sucks. Jade Cargill is one of the worst women's champions that we've had of the modern era. She's defended the championship once in over 110 days. It's not exactly what I call the essence of a champion. And I guarantee you the next time she defends the championship will be against either B-Fab or Michin. Not really much of a title defense there. And then the next title defense she has, it'll be against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I firmly believe that if Bianca Belair was not injured, we would be getting Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania this year. And the fact that Rhea Ripley is basically right there with Bianca at number 1 and number 2 of the women's division, they went with the other one because the other one is injured. They were going to go with Bianca. She never made it back, so they opted to go with the next best choice, which is Rhea Ripley, which is fine. It's predictable, but it's fine. If Rhea Ripley is the only woman in this match that's going to be able to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania-worthy match, that's not really the most glowing comment. Not really the best comment that you could express yourself with. So you're basically saying that Jade Cargill, there's no one else in the company good enough to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania match. Do you realize that you're actively burying Jade Cargill with that one comment alone? Because Jade Cargill can't work with anybody, and the only one that is going to be able to work with her is Rhea Ripley. That doesn't really bode well for Jade Cargill. I want to read to you Rhea Ripley and what she's done in her WrestleMania career. WrestleMania 36, she lost to Charlotte Flair. NXT Championship match. WrestleMania 37, she defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship. WrestleMania 38, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with Liv Morgan. Lost the Women's Tag Team Championship. WrestleMania 39, defeated Charlotte Flair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. WrestleMania 40, defeated Becky Lynch to retain the Women's World Championship. At WrestleMania 41, triple threat match, Io Sky, Bianca Belair. She did not win the Women's World Championship. WrestleMania 36, WrestleMania 37, WrestleMania 38, WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania 41, and now WrestleMania 42 against Jade Cargill. Every WrestleMania that Rhea Ripley has been actively a part of has been a championship match. I'm not taking anything away from Rhea Ripley because I'm a big Rhea Ripley guy. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that Rhea Ripley was the only choice, if you're going to sit there and tell me that Rhea Ripley's the only one that's going to be able to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania-worthy match, if Rhea Ripley was the best choice because it's big business, bro, I have every fucking argument against your big business because every single WrestleMania match that Rhea Ripley's been a part of has been a championship match. I can easily come to you and ask, where's the creative? Where's the new blood? Where are all these other women that WWE has been cultivating over the years? Why aren't they far along? Why is WWE going with the Monday Night Raw superstar for a SmackDown title? Nobody's questioning how fucking demoralizing and how putrid the SmackDown women's division is. Yes, go with Rhea Ripley because the SmackDown women's division is fucking terrible. There's a bigger problem that exists here. It's not Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. My question is, where does Io fit into the WrestleMania card? Where does Io fit in? If you think that Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill is actively going to make the WrestleMania card better, you're a complete fucking idiot. It doesn't. WWE is simply using Rhea Ripley to sell box office because that's all they do. You'll get 7 weeks of non-existent story. Just like everything else that WWE does. Charlotte and Rhea didn't have any story. Rhea and Asuka didn't have any story. Asuka and Charlotte didn't have any fucking story. These WrestleMania women's matches never have any story. None. Rhea and Becky didn't have a fucking story. They just do it because it's big star versus big star. Meanwhile, we're all asking, well, where's everybody else? Where's the new blood? Where's the future? How do you want me to get invested in the future if WWE is afraid of building the future? So we get Rhea and Jade. Where does Io fit on the WrestleMania card? They're certainly not leaving Io off the fucking WrestleMania card. There's no way. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Io, more than likely, because it would be criminally fucking insane to leave Io Sky off the WrestleMania card. I'm assuming we're going to do Io versus Julia for the United States Championship. That's what WWE more than likely is going to do. No, we're not getting Jade versus Rhea versus Io. Why would we do that? That's going to be a much more inferior version of what we got last year. Why are we running the same shit back year over year? Jade is not Bianca. And the match is never going to measure up to what we did last year. So why would you soil what they did last year by putting Jade in there with Rhea and Io? If that's the point, why didn't you just give me Rhea versus Io? Why didn't we just do that? And have someone else win the chamber and give them Jade Cargill? See, what I would have done is, believe it or not, before I even predicted Alexa Bliss, I thought that we get Alexa and Jade, and then somehow Charlotte gets involved, and we make that a triple threat match. That did not happen. What I would have done from the get-go, and believe it or not, I mean this wholeheartedly, I haven't been abducted like Jim Carrey, okay? I would have had Charlotte win her qualifying match. I would have had Charlotte win the Elimination Chamber, and I would have had Charlotte versus Jade at WrestleMania. At least it would have been different than having Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill in there, based off the fact that Charlotte has actually progressed as a babyface, and Charlotte versus Jade has been teased more than Jade and Rhea has. Meanwhile, you drop the tag team titles from Rhea and Io, you put them on Lash Legend and Nia Jax, and then you do Rhea versus Io, and the story in the match sells itself. They got nowhere to go. They're down on their luck. How do we get to WrestleMania? We're going to do everything together. We've been on this journey together. You're my best friend. We won the tag team titles together. We're going into WrestleMania together. And the cherry on top of the cake is Rhea Ripley's never defeated Io Sky one-on-one. There is absolutely nobody listening to me that thinks Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley belongs on the WrestleMania card outside of Charlotte, Jade, and then doing Rhea and Io. You want to make WrestleMania the biggest show of the entire year? That's the way you should have did it. And I'm not angry because I didn't get my way. I'm angry because it's right there and WWE didn't take advantage of it. And that is the biggest way to make WrestleMania bigger. Rhea and Io. And no, you didn't have to turn either one of them heel. It would be two baby faces going out there and have a 25-minute match and fucking tearing the house down. Tell me when I'm telling any lies. Tell me when I'm telling any fucking lies. I'm not. Then you could have told the Charlotte and Alexa story, and Alexa turning heel on Charlotte. Jade would retain. We get Charlotte and Alexa going into Backlash, and then we wait for Bianca Belair to hopefully get back so we can do Bianca and Jade. Bianca beats Jade. Bianca's the champion, and then we do Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. That is the biggest WrestleMania match that WWE currently can do at WrestleMania. Bianca and Rhea. That's it. Zero fucking lies told. So for all the people telling me, oh, this is the only woman that's going to be able to bring Jade Cargill to a WrestleMania-worthy match. Yeah, they fucked it up. Rhea didn't need to win. Rhea was a safe choice. As soon as Rhea lost the tag team championships last night, we all had a feeling that Rhea Ripley was going to win the Elimination Chamber because they weren't going with Tiffany Stratton. I don't really give a shit if Tiffany Stratton's not on the WrestleMania card. She's factored into nothing. Nobody wanted to see Tiffany versus Jade again. It wasn't good the first 2 times we did it, and it's not going to be any different for a third. Charlotte, Jade, Rhea, Io, Stephanie, Liv, and then whatever the tag team title match is going to be, which should be a conglomeration of other teams. We'll probably get Charlotte and Alexa. We'll get the Bellas. We'll get Lash Legend and Nia Jax, and then Bayley and Lyra. Or the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know. I could see Charlotte versus Alexa at WrestleMania too. They may actually do that and the women's tag team title match. Just substitute Charlotte and Alexa for the Kabuki Warriors. I could see it. But if you think that Rhea and Jade is the biggest match that they can do, you're a fucking liar. And you're clueless. You're absolutely clueless. Rhea and Io is the biggest match you can do. Jade and Rhea is not a big match. Jade and Rhea is a big match for all the fucking blind idiots out there who think Jade Cargill's some superstar when she can barely execute a fucking headlock. Why is she a big superstar? Because she looks like $1 zillion. Woman's had 1 title defense in 100 days, and you want me to take her to be a WrestleMania main event level act? Fuck out of here. What, are you kidding me? I don't give a fuck who she's in there with. Rhea is not going to help the cause. Who wins? Who wins the match? Is Jade going to really get one over on Rhea? What difference does that make? Rhea dropping the match to Jade, it's all in the follow-up. What are you going to do different to show me that Jade is actually a fucking champion? You can't have her beat Rhea and then go on a fucking string of title-less defenses. I don't understand it. You can't do that. The way I laid it out is the absolute top of the top, cream of the crop way to book WrestleMania. No doubt about it. If anything, Rhea and Jade is a major turnoff. Oh, but this is big business. Rhea's the biggest star. Yes, let's go with the biggest star in the worst match that you could possibly do against one of the worst wrestlers on the entire roster. Fantastic. Fantastic. WrestleMania. Highlight, wrestle. You give them 10 minutes in and out, it'll be forgotten by the time fucking Monday Night Raw comes. Goodbye. Was Jade this bad in AEW? Yes. Yes, she was. Literally nothing has changed outside of the WWE production. Becky Lynch. She went one-on-one with AJ Lee. AJ Lee has showed up back in WWE television. She made a couple of TV appearances going into WrestlePalooza. And she has been involved with Becky Lynch since September and the debut on ESPN. So we got AJ Lee, couple of television appearances alongside husband CM Punk, building to that mixed tag team match with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, which was decent. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was like the best thing ever. It was decent. It was all a sell job for the first ESPN show. We didn't see Becky Lynch coming out of that until the build for War Games. The last time we got Becky Lynch and AJ Lee coming out of WrestlePalooza was War Games when AJ Lee was team captain for her team against Becky Lynch and her team. AJ made Becky Lynch tap out at WrestlePalooza. AJ Lee made Becky Lynch tap out at War Games, Survivor Series. AJ Lee was not in the Royal Rumble. We get AJ Lee back on television after 4 or 5 appearances as a part-timer. And we get this Intercontinental Championship match based off of AJ Lee making Becky Lynch tap out twice. Coincidentally, this show was in Chicago. AJ Lee's husband is synonymous with Chicago, CM Punk. So my immediate thought was AJ Lee is going to win the Intercontinental Championship in Chicago because it's going to be a moment for Paul Levesque. Triple H loves his moments. AJ Lee hasn't wrestled in over 10 years in a one-on-one situation. So she was heavily going to be under the microscope tonight. The build for this match was weak. The build for this match was very bizarre. The promo segments between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee were not good whatsoever at all. At all. I can confidently say that this was not bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And within the last 5 minutes, when things started to pick up, when Jessica Carr, who was the official for this match, got involved and we got shenanigans with Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch, things really picked up. The crowd started to get a little bit more invested. The crowd started to get a little bit more energetic. And I thought this ended up exactly the way I thought it should end up. But now it's all in the follow-up. What is WWE going to do now with the result of this match? So we got this Intercontinental Championship match. AJ Lee did not look bad here to start this match. She looked very good. And I'm surprised that she was as quick as she was. She used her speed. She moved around well in there. For 10 years out of a one-on-one situation, she looked pretty damn good. I got to admit. AJ Lee got a decent reaction. It wasn't something that was as big as the last time she was in Chicago. When she showed up and returned to the WWE, she got a massive reaction. Big time. This was nowhere close to that. She got a nice reaction. Becky got some boos. So we go and start the match. Becky started playing mind games with AJ Lee early. She was gloating after getting the better of her, out wrestling her, showing everybody that AJ Lee was kind of off her game. So Lee reversed the roll-up on Becky. She goes for a cover. She gets a 1 count. Becky showed her, some chain wrestling. She ended up getting frustrated. AJ's coming back with some offense. Becky took a little bit of a break on the outside, and she kind of rolled to the outside, playing up the heel character. So we go back into the ring. Becky took over when she turned up some of the intensity here. Becky landed an exploder suplex for a 2 count. And AJ Lee starts making a comeback with some rapid-fire attacks. Becky, she moves out of the way of a corner charge. AJ Lee hits a tornado DDT out of the corner. And then a Shining Wizard connected for a 2 count. Becky countered a Black Widow with a big slam down for a 2. She then takes AJ's head and rams it into the mat. Becky untied the turnbuckle pad as Jessica Carr, the referee, the crooked referee, according to Becky Lynch, went to go check on AJ Lee after her face hit the mat. AJ slid under Becky, rolled to the outside, grabbed her boot, and tripped her up. So Becky knocked Lee off balance. They're up on the top rope. She landed a superplex. She then applied an armbar. AJ Lee has the advantage here with Becky's shoulders down, and Becky, she ended up getting loose from the hold. So all of a sudden, Jessica Carr goes to the outside and takes the turnbuckle pad and the string that was attached to the turnbuckle pad. She takes the turnbuckle pad and starts to put the turnbuckle pad back on the corner. I don't know why this was a necessity in this match. Why did we need to do this in this match? Now, just leave it as it is. Worry about AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. So we go and pick it up with the turnbuckle spot. At this point, this is where the match breaks down. So Jessica Carr is putting the turnbuckle pad back on. Becky shoved AJ Lee into Jessica Carr. She then rolled AJ up, and AJ kicked out. Becky went to go kick AJ. AJ ducked, and then a kick to the head right to Jessica Carr, and Jessica Carr goes down. So now the referee is out. So at this point, we got AJ Lee setting up Becky Lynch in the Black Widow. And at this point, Becky Lynch is tapping out. So she applied the Black Widow. Becky tapped out, and she's punching herself out of the hold. Lee went to go check on the referee, and Becky hit her from behind because AJ was stupid to go check on Jessica Carr. Fans are chanting, "You tapped out, you tapped out." Becky threw AJ into the ringside barricade. Lee starts fighting back, threw Becky into the barricade, and then we go back into the ring. AJ hits a tornado DDT. Becky countered and then DDT'd AJ Lee onto a chair that she brought into the ring with Jessica Carr down because she didn't see it. She tried to revive the referee at this point and landed a manhandle slam for a near fall. Becky was shocked and frustrated, and everybody couldn't believe it. Becky couldn't believe it. The fans couldn't believe it. I thought that Becky had the match won. AJ kicked out at the last second. So she went to go throw AJ Lee into the exposed turnbuckle because Jessica Carr never put the turnbuckle pad back on the corner. Referee stopped her. So she got up and she seen it and she stopped Becky. Lee then rolled Becky up for a 2. Becky comes back with a manhandle slam attempt. AJ rolled out of it. AJ avoided a charging Becky, who goes face first into the exposed turnbuckle. She then applied the Black Widow, and instantly, Becky Lynch taps out, and AJ Lee is the new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Match went 16 minutes, and she wins the Intercontinental title. AJ looked good. She moved around pretty well in there, and I think this is the right outcome. Why is this the right outcome? Why is this the right outcome? I think everybody assumed that AJ Lee and Becky Lynch was probably going to end up being the WrestleMania match. They did it here. They did it here for 2 reasons. One, Triple H loves his moments, and AJ Lee in Chicago with her husband CM Punk winning a championship for the first time in, 11 years? That's a moment. He loves his moments, and he wanted a hometown moment in front of 18,000 people on ESPN. Becky Lynch has already done enough with the Intercontinental Championship. There's nothing else that Becky Lynch can do with the Intercontinental title. The other reason why he gave AJ Lee the title to Triple H tonight at the Elimination Chamber instead of doing it in Las Vegas at WrestleMania, AJ Lee's part-time. If there's one thing we don't need, it's part-time champions. AJ Lee winning the championship and going on a part-time schedule where we've already seen her, 5 times since September? She wrestled at WrestlePalooza. She wrestled at the Survivor Series. She wrestled here at the Elimination Chamber. She had 3 PLE appearances since September. How much do you expect her to actually wrestle? She's not even on a Roman Reigns schedule. She's less than that. She's back full-time, but she is very much part-time. If AJ Lee won the title at WrestleMania, I don't really see AJ Lee showing back up until we go to SummerSlam. She's only going to be used in these big event situations. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, here at the Chamber in Chicago in front of 18,000 people. That's it. We don't need any more part-time champions. We don't need Becky Lynch as the Intercontinental Champion anymore. We don't. She's done enough with that championship. She's taken the championship and made it more important than the title that Stephanie Vicaire is currently holding right now. So where do we go now? I know that WWE's been teasing this Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr situation for a little bit now. I think WWE is going to run the rematch back and give Becky the title back in WrestleMania in Vegas. What good would that do? Why do we need to continue to add to Becky Lynch's Intercontinental title reign? I don't know. Honestly, Becky Lynch should be in the main event scene challenging for the bigger championship, but she's here fucking around with the Intercontinental title. She's done everything she can with that title. It's time to let others take that title and do what they need to do with it. I think WWE is going to give us a rematch between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. What I would love to see them do, and this is where they need to take the risk, I think Becky Lynch, if I was in charge, I'd do Becky Lynch and referee Jessica Carr in a one-on-one match. Jessica Carr is a pro wrestler turned referee. If WWE wants a storyline, they got one right there. It's been happening every time Becky's been in a ring with her. There's some nefarious garbage. There's some shenanigans. Becky Lynch feels cheated. Becky Lynch feels slighted. She's called her corrupt. Becky Lynch versus Jessica Carr. Played up as something really big. What does AJ Lee do? It's been talked about in and out of WWE for as long as we know. AJ Lee versus Roxanne Perez for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. That's what I would do. I don't think WWE is going to go and do that because it's not box office. And if WWE already put Rhea in the Women's Championship match because it's box office, I would assume that they're also going to do AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch because AJ versus Roxanne and Becky versus referee isn't really box office enough for WrestleMania. But story and story. You can build AJ Lee and Roxanne Perez from childhood icon to wrestling her icon at WrestleMania. You can build Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr, former champion, felt cheated and slighted by corrupt referee Jessica Carr. Story. That's what I would do. That's how I would go about it. No, but WWE is going to give you box office because they need to sell tickets. And AJ Lee was the safe choice here because she only has to hold the championship for 2 months. Less than that, 7 weeks. She can easily drop it, being that she's going to be showing up to work on the road to WrestleMania. She can build to it and then drop it back to Becky at WrestleMania. But I agree with all those who utter the sentiment of what does Becky Lynch need with another Intercontinental title reign? Nothing. You have her take care of the referee problem, move her up to the main event, have Roxanne beat AJ Lee, and we move in 2 completely different directions. That's what I would do. AJ Lee wins in 16 minutes. She wins the Intercontinental Championship. Not bad. Not bad. And nobody should be surprised at the outcome. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were standing near the mystery crate. R-Truth said he knew what was inside. And this quickly turned into a pizza sponsorship where he plugged Papa John's Pizza. Papa John's is not pizza. I'll just leave that as it is. Papa John's is not pizza. CM Punk. He went one-on-one with Finn Balor, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE, they gave CM Punk a very special entrance. They had him come out to Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project, paying homage to the Michael Jordan-era Chicago Bulls. And he was also introduced by former Chicago Bulls announcer, PA announcer, Ray Clay. It's pretty fucking epic. Pretty epic. They gave CM Punk the absolute top-notch superstar treatment here tonight. They had CM Punk and this entrance, they had him retain the championship against Finn Balor. His wife won the Intercontinental title. I'm assuming he got Danhausen a job at a major spot in the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk is living big in WWE. His wrestling gear resembled the Chicago Blackhawks. Finn Balor was Finn Balor. Punk starts the match early with the advantage. He dropped Balor rib first onto the top rope. And he goes at Finn Balor with some knee strikes. Balor then targets Punk's midsection. And Punk was put in an abdominal stretch. Both guys went down after a double clothesline. So they go back and forth with some strikes. Punk hits a big clothesline. He goes for a signature bulldog. Balor slips out of a GTS. Punk followed with a suicide dive and a big flying clothesline. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Balor comes back with a big elbow drop for 2. Balor reversed the GTS into a small package. Punk transitions into a neck breaker for 2 count. So Balor's on the top rope along with CM Punk, and Balor knocked Punk off the top. Punk goes down. He avoided a coup de grace, followed by a knee strike, and then a big flying elbow. Punk was busted open, started bleeding a little bit from the mouth. He also had blood in between his eyebrows. I don't know what happened there. It might have been dried blood from the mouth. But he was bleeding, and Balor counters a Punk cradle with one of his own, and he transitions into a sling blade. Balor went for a running drop kick. Punk eventually clotheslined him and applied the Anaconda Vice. Balor fought out of it, elbow strikes to get out of it. Balor hits a big DDT and then goes up top and nails the coup de grace for a very close near fall. So Balor looked out at the stage, and he was looking to see if Dominic and J.D. McDonough were about to come out and stand by him in his corner. He repeatedly told them he needs to do this on his own. So that was the big storyline element here. Balor looked, he did not see. So no Judgment Day out there at all. So he turns around after looking in the aisleway. Punk hits him with a GTS. Balor falls out of the ring. Punk can't believe it. That was his open to win the match. And smart play by Balor, man. Veteran maneuver to roll out of the ring after being hit by the GTS. So Punk goes after him. Balor on the outside hits a sling blade on the floor and then drove Punk right through the timekeeper's barricade, because everybody does it, with a running drop kick. Balor, we're back in the ring. He goes up top for another coup de grace. Comes down, but Punk, he got his leg up mid-coup de grace and beautifully transitioned into a sloppy sharpshooter until Balor eventually crawled to the rope and got the rope break. Punk repeatedly booted Balor in the face, hoisted him up to his feet, hits the GTS, and got the 1, 2, 3. So after the match was over, I expected the Judgment Day to come on out. Dominic Mysterio, J.D. McDonough. Nobody showed up. So Punk was celebrating. Balor was laying in the corner. He gets up. He meets Balor in the center of the ring, does Punk, and Balor offers his hand in respect. Balor shakes Punk's hand. AJ Lee ran out. She embraced Punk. She's the new IC champion. CM Punk is still the World Heavyweight Champion. Tonight they own Chicago. This was a better match than the match that they had from an in-ring perspective. This was a better match than they had a few weeks ago in Belfast. The crowd was not. Chicago actually let me down big time with the noise that they made during this match. Now, I don't blame them because I think a lot of people, though they're happy to see CM Punk and happy to cheer their hometown guy, I think a lot of people realized how predictable this match was. Nobody expected CM Punk to lose this match. Nobody expected CM Punk to lose the World Heavyweight Championship after WWE just announced a few weeks ago that Punk and Reigns would be the main event of WrestleMania 42. I was expecting some story. The only story that we got was WWE giving Balor that spot in the match where he looked up the aisleway to see if the Judgment Day was out there, and they were not. The only part of the match that had story was the handshake at the end of the match. Those two instances, those will be the situations that ultimately get Balor booted out of the Judgment Day. He failed. He made them look good. He made a promise to them that he was going to win the World Championship. He comes back empty-handed. He told them he needs to do it on his own, and he failed the group. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan's going to go and win the World Heavyweight Championship from Stephanie Vaquer, and she's going to bring championship gold back into the Judgment Day. She's going to reassert herself as the leader of the Judgment Day, and Balor, the first order of business, is to kick Balor out of the Judgment Day. Now, I don't know what they do with Balor at WrestleMania. Hopefully they kick him out before Liv Morgan wins the World Heavyweight Championship. I think Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio needs to be the WrestleMania match for the Intercontinental title. Either that or they do a multi-man match for the Intercontinental Championship. But how many multi-man matches can we discuss taking place at WrestleMania? Balor versus Dominic has been building for months. It's time we get the ball rolling on that and have Balor go solo, have Balor do his old gimmick, bring back the Demon, and have him win the Intercontinental title, because that title ain't doing shit on Dominic Mysterio. So hopefully this fast tracks going into Raw and over the next 7 weeks. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to tell some sort of story. The story is getting Balor out of the Judgment Day, booting him out of the Judgment Day, and having Dominic be the one to do it. Because Liv wanted him to. And then we get Balor versus Dominic at WrestleMania. Who's in the box? The mystery crate found itself on stage. Everybody knew who was in the mystery crate based off a couple of things that happened yesterday and a couple of things that were reported from the dirt sheets. Danhausen didn't really keep himself quiet on social media. He tweeted out that he was finally free from Guantanamo Bay. AEW finally took him off the roster page on their official website. And then he tweeted out a couple of hours before the show what looked to be something that resembles inside of the box. So he basically kind of, but not really, but kind of, spoiled the surprise on social media. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were on the stage. They had crowbars. They opened the crate, and the front end of the crate falls down to the ground. And nothing but fog came out of it. When the fog dissipated, we got what looked to be a casket inside of the box. A wooden casket. This door opened up and a light emanated out of the casket. More fog. outside of the casket walked women, a parade of 6 women, wearing Danhausen makeup, dressed in red robes with black hair and white face paint. They came out dancing while Danhausen made his way out to the ring with his new WWE theme music and his vampiric cape. He marched to the ring. He marched around ringside with these 6 ladies. He goes over to Michael Cole. He does one of these numbers that he's going to curse. He hands Michael Cole a jar of teeth. Michael Cole don't know what the fuck's going on. Michael Cole called him Danhausen. We had a sign in the crowd that said, very nice, very evil. So I'm assuming some of the people in attendance knew Danhausen was coming. He got into the ring. The lights went dark. Fans started raining boos because of Danhausen as the ladies did this dancing number in the ring. Lights go out. They come back on. And Danhausen was gone. And the ladies were gone. The best thing about this segment was the 6 dancing ladies dressed as Danhausen. Chat, why did the fans boo? Why did the fans boo Danhausen when the lights went out and the lights came back on? Does anybody know? Does anybody know why Danhausen got booed? Danhausen got booed because this was a shit debut. Danhausen got booed because WWE, on the road to WrestleMania, should be giving you the absolute best product possible. Last year, we got The Rock. And The Rock bargaining with Cody Rhodes because The Rock wanted Cody's soul. Cody Rhodes then told Rock to go fuck himself. This was weird, but it also built up big-time intrigue going into WrestleMania because we didn't know if Rock was going to wrestle. We didn't know if John Cena turned heel to align with The Rock to form some mega faction. We didn't know if this was going to lead to Rock and Cody at some point. They fucked it up. No matter how much they fucked up the aftermath, you can't tell me that it didn't feel like WrestleMania because it certainly did. WWE gave you a big WrestleMania feel coming out of last year's Elimination Chamber. And then this year, on the road to WrestleMania with 7 weeks to go, they give you fucking Danhausen dancing around with 6 other women dressed like him as he hands Michael Cole a jar of teeth. The product has been fucking worse than it was last year. It's been fucking boring. It's been terrible. The company continues to take no risks, no chances. They refuse to tell any captivating, emotional story that the fans could invest their time in. With 7 weeks to go, and you got yourself Danhausen on the road to WrestleMania. Does the WWE take us to be fucking fools? What is Danhausen going to do on the road to WrestleMania with 7 weeks to go that's going to add value to WrestleMania? What? Danhausen, as a pro wrestler, you ain't missing much there, bro. Is he comical? Does he got good comedic timing? Is he slightly entertaining? Sure. The fans booed Danhausen because they don't expect Danhausen to be much of anything out of comedy jobber status in WWE. He's going to be mingling alongside the Garzas, and he's going to be mingling alongside Kit Wilson, and he's going to be mingling alongside R-Truth and Joe Hendry. I wouldn't be surprised if Danhausen forms a tag team with R-Truth and they call it Truthhausen. This is what you call WrestleMania season. And then you wonder why, and you question why the fans are booing. This should be the biggest fucking card that WWE does all year with the best stories and the best performers. Yet we got Danhausen coming out of a fucking wooden box that AEW symbolically shipped to WWE because they didn't want him anymore. And he comes out getting booed in Chicago where his best friend lives. And then you wonder why fans are upset. Listen, you can sit there and find Danhausen entertaining. You can own all the Danhausen merchandise you want. You can be the biggest Danhausen mark this side of the IWC. I'm not telling you you can't enjoy Danhausen. But to give Danhausen a huge debut spot where 1 year ago we got Rock showing up, giving Cody Rhodes a 7-day grace period to say yes or no on his soul being sold to The Rock. 1 year ago, we got that. Fast forward to 2026, and we got fucking Danhausen dancing out of a fucking crate with 6 women dressed like him, only to disappear into the night. No context, no explanation, no reason for why he's there. He just showed up. Was the presentation cool? Sure. Did the theme music very much fit Danhausen's Funhouse gimmick? Yes. Outside that, what value does he give WrestleMania season outside of a fucking backstage segment with the catering department and R-Truth? Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. I guess Jim Cornette got it wrong, huh? Jim Cornette says anybody that comes out of a fucking box as a debut is instantly over. Not tonight. Not tonight. Danhausen got booed out of Chicago. Main event. At this point, I couldn't wait for this fucking show to be over. LA Knight, Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Javon Williams. Evans. Men's Elimination Chamber match. Bro, we got 18 minutes of ring introductions here from who came out first? Logan Paul? Logan Paul, Javon Evans, Trick Williams came out first. Logan Paul, LA Knight, and Javon Evans. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out last. Him and Javon Evans started the match. So, Trick Williams, Logan Paul, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Javon Evans, and Cody Rhodes came out last. 18 minutes of introductions, bro. Javon Evans climbed the cage. He did his thing on top of the cage. LA Knight comes out. He climbs the cage. LA Knight, yeah. Logan Paul's in there. He's banging on everybody's cage, knocking on the plexiglass. Ridiculous. Trick Williams came out first. LA Knight walked out. Fan held up a sign that said LA Knight beats the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles level damn easily. There was a guy holding up weird fucking signs in the crowd. Legitimately. Javon and Cody started this match finally after almost 20 minutes of ring introductions. Michael Cole started reading a Roman Reigns tweet where he basically told CM Punk, enjoy your last 7 weeks of relevancy. Cody Rhodes and Javon Evans started it. Cody caught Javon in a headlock. Javon used his speed. He used his quickness on Cody. They go back and forth. Trick Williams eventually comes out at number 3. He was released from his chamber pod. Trick slammed Cody onto the platform outside of the cage. Goes back in the ring and goes face-to-face with Javon Evans. They got some history in NXT. Trick took Javon down with a massive chop. Cody comes back, neck breaker on Trick. Fans are really big time into Trick. The rumor is that they may be turning Trick into a babyface. I don't know why we need to label Trick Williams as a babyface. Just let Trick Williams be and let the fans decide the wins in which Trick Williams goes. We don't need to determine Trick being a heel or Trick Williams being a babyface. Let Trick Williams be Trick Williams and let the fans think for themselves. That's the best way to go about Trick Williams and his ascent in WWE, okay? So he's going back and forth with Cody. Trick caught Cody with a spinning heel kick. Fans are chanting, whoop that Trick, whoop that Trick. Not as loud in Chicago, but that's par for the course tonight. Crowd was pretty much dead most of the night. Trick gave the bookend. This was done by design because Wade Barrett compared Trick Williams to Booker T. He gave double bookends to Javon Evans and Cody Rhodes. He scored a 2 count on Cody and then went for a cover on Javon and got a 2 count. And they started comparing Trick Williams to Booker T. Booker T's got a lot of grief in the IWC lately thanks to good old Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, who voted him, the fans did, of the Observer, worst commentator of the year in pro wrestling. So a lot of people came to Booker T's defense, and now they're basically telling you that Trick Williams is the modern-day Booker T. How could you hate on Booker T if they're comparing Trick Williams to Booker T? Logan Paul was out next. They released him from his chamber pod. Cody, Trick, and Javon all went 3-on-1 against Logan Paul. So they all swarmed him. Logan eventually comes back. He took down Javon and then goes at it with Cody. LA Knight came out next. Wade Barrett screams, "My loins are tingling." Nice to know. Nobody's loins were tickling in Chicago. So LA Knight went right after Logan Paul. He stomped away at him in the corner. He took a shot at Cody. Leaping neck breaker to Trick. He went back to work on Logan. Logan climbed to the top of the pod. Javon Evans met him up there. LA Knight joined them up there. LA Knight and Javon Evans tossed Logan down off the chamber pod onto Cody and onto Trick Williams down below. LA Knight nails a BFT on Javon Evans on the roof of the chamber pod. At this point, Randy Orton's buzzer goes off. He's the last guy to enter the chamber. He went right after Trick, charging at him with a signature clothesline. Same thing to Logan Paul, signature clothesline. Snap power slam, vintage Orton to Trick Williams. Same thing to Logan with the snap power slam. Orton's playing up the crowd. He clothesline Trick over the top rope. He goes over the top rope. He lands on the padding outside. Javon lands a frog splash off the pod onto Trick. Logan Paul comes in. And my God, man, he delivered a pulverizer to Javon Evans. I swear to God, I was waiting for the referee to throw the X up. I was waiting for the referee to throw the X up on this pulverizer. He fucking blasted Javon Evans with the pulverizer. 15 minutes in, we got one elimination. Javon Evans is eliminated. Cody went for a Cody cutter on Logan Paul. LA Knight comes in, blocks Cody, gets a cover on Cody, only goes for a 1 count. LA Knight caught Orton, who was charging in with a big boot. Orton bumped in a very outlandish way. Not sure what was going on there. LA Knight, Randy Orton just dropped flat back. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I guess he wanted to make sure he was in position for the elbow drop. LA Knight goes to the top rope. He does his top rope elbow. He's standing on the second turnbuckle. He jumps up to the top turnbuckle to do the elbow drop. Sometimes he connects it. It's a beautiful move. Sometimes he doesn't. Bro, at this point, we're going to need LA Knight to get rid of the top rope elbow drop and replace it with something else. Bro, I got secondhand embarrassment from watching LA Knight in this spot after an already very mid Elimination Chamber PLE. To watch this match get started in a very weak way after 20 minutes of introduction, and then we get nothing happening up until this point, and LA Knight is in there with a 15-time world champion, 14-time world champion, and he goes up to do an elbow drop, and he slips off the top rope. He don't even do the move. He slipped. He at least caught his balance on the way down, and he delivers a jumping elbow drop, standing right there to Randy Orton. Bro, I got secondhand embarrassment. I got cringe all over my fucking arms watching this. And the crowd, bro, I swear to God, they wanted to boo this match into oblivion. This was awful. This was fucking awful. And yet we got AJ Styles retiring because he doesn't want to make these same mistakes at 48 years old. Yet LA Knight makes this mistake. If LA Knight was to do this move 10 times, he'd botch it at least 5. We're seeing it more and more and more often. To save himself from the embarrassment, every time he goes up for it, I think we're at a point right now where we see him do it. We're waiting for him to fuck it up. Terrible move. So he lands a leaping elbow drop on Randy Orton. Trick went after LA Knight, scored a 2 count. Knight blocked Trick and landed a BFT. Logan comes over and quickly gives Knight a low blow. He then rolled up LA Knight for a 3 count. So thanks for coming. You botched your own move, and then you were swiftly eliminated by Logan Paul. So Logan Paul stole eliminations on Javon Evans and LA Knight. So Logan went after Cody. Trick went after Logan. Logan avoided the Trick shot. Cody gave Trick a crossroads. Logan threw Cody into the ring post and stole the win over Trick Williams. So Logan Paul pins Javon Evans, LA Knight, and Trick Williams. So at this point, I think we're all waiting for the masked man. So Logan promised he was going to win the Elimination Chamber and go to the WrestleMania main event for the Vision. So 3 referees were shown checking on LA Knight. A masked man tried to climb into the cage from the outside. Security quickly was on scene and dragged this guy away. Now, Michael Cole wondered if this was another fake masked man, so they unmasked him as they dragged him away, and it was another no-named guy. I'm assuming this was another talent from the Black and Brave Seth Rollins Wrestling School. So the referees left the door open. They got LA Knight out of the cage. Trick Williams is doing a big-time sell job. He's sitting on the steel steps that sit flush with the Elimination Chamber. So we get another masked man entering the ring, and he's looking at Logan Paul. He then kicked him in the midsection. He gave him a curb stomp. We all knew this was Seth Rollins at this point. I even said last night during the SmackDown stream, Seth Rollins needs to reveal himself Saturday night inside the chamber. Curb stomp to Logan Paul. The masked man removed his hood as Cody crawled over to pin Logan Paul and eliminate him. He revealed himself to be Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman having a stroke on the outside, screaming, "Oh my God, oh my God." Fans are doing, whoa. As Rollins jumps the barricade, he runs away, and Rollins is back. He was supposed to be recovering from shoulder surgery. He's back. He looks great. He's back for WrestleMania, and Michael Cole noted that this was the second time in as many years that he has had a direct impact on the Elimination Chamber. So Logan Paul eliminated by Cody. We're now down to Cody and Randy Orton. Now, comically, the cage door was left open. We had referees standing in the aisleway watching the door remain open. Nobody did anything to close the door. They allowed Drew McIntyre to walk right into the cage, and he's got the WWE title with him, and he blasted Cody in the back of the head with the WWE title. He entered the ring. He went for a Claymore. Cody moved, punched away at Drew. They start brawling. Drew fought back. Orton gets to his feet. He turns Drew around off of Cody, and he gives Drew McIntyre an RKO. Cody Rhodes gets to his feet. He thinks he's working as friends with Randy Orton. He picks up Drew McIntyre to deliver a Claymore, or a Crossroads, rather. He delivers a Crossroads to Drew McIntyre. Cody turns right around into an RKO. And Randy Orton wins the Men's Elimination Chamber match by pinning Cody Rhodes off of an RKO. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins and gets the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. As of right now, it is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, night one main event for the WWE Championship. Everybody was worried. This is what they did with the Masked Men. They unveiled a nobody. People missed the plot completely. They went right away to typing on their keyboards without using their fucking brain cells. Black and Brave on Friday. Black and Brave on Saturday. 2 students. This was a trail of breadcrumbs. Nobody picked up on it in the vision. They didn't know. Rollins was playing mind games with them until the ultimate reveal, where he revealed himself inside the chamber and fucked over Logan Paul. It was supposed to be Bronson Reed. He was going to fuck over Bronson Reed. But being that Bronson Reed tore his bicep on Raw Monday, they substituted Jey Uso for Logan Paul. Because Jey Uso was never supposed to be there. It was always going to be Bronson Reed in this spot. The same thing played out. This was their original plan. They couldn't do this spot without a member of the Vision being in the match. So now we're off to the races. What's Seth Rollins' match going to be? It's either going to be him and LA Knight versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory, which doesn't speak to me as a WrestleMania match, or WWE is keeping it very hush-hush, and they got Bad Bunny and Seth Rollins teaming up together at WrestleMania against Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Now, that would be fine, because that's WrestleMania worthy, and Bad Bunny is very good. We saw him wrestle Damian Priest in a Puerto Rican street fight at Backlash a couple of years ago, and he killed it. So if that's what they want to go with, I have no problems with that. It gives WWE their celebrity status at WrestleMania, and it gives them a much-needed star essence for a Seth Rollins match. Because Rollins was supposed to wrestle Braun Breaker. He was supposed to be in this match, and all this was supposed to play out with Braun Breaker, and that didn't go according to their plan. So then it didn't happen with Bronson Reed, and now we're left with Logan Paul. The Vision is cursed. So that's going to be that. Drew McIntyre, I predicted it down to the very thing that they did. He was going to find himself into the chamber. He was never on the show. He was not defending the WWE title. He's got a narrative going out there to fuck over Cody and fuck over Jacob Fatu. Why would tonight be any different? He'd find himself into the cage when the referees lazily leave it open. And that's exactly what he did. And I said last night, word for word, Sammy didn't take Drew McIntyre up on his offer. He basically handed Sammy that Elimination Chamber qualifier match, and he didn't take it. You know who was going to take it? Randy Orton was going to take it. He saw an opening, and he took it. Now, the title match is happening on Friday. During the post-show, McIntyre's in the back. He was not apologetic for what he did. Nick Aldis charged onto the set of the post-show with Joe Tessitore and Big E, and he told Drew that since he saw hell-bent on Cody getting another shot at him, this Friday on SmackDown, he booked Drew versus Cody for the WWE title. Cody Rhodes is not winning the WWE title on Friday. I'm assuming Jacob Fatu is going to get his pound of flesh on Friday. Randy Orton's in. Jacob Fatu's going to fuck things up. We're going to get a fatal four-way. Fatu, Cody, Orton, McIntyre, fatal four-way. And again, like I said before, if it's not that fatal four-way, maybe WWE, again, I'm thinking out loud here. This is not what I think they're going to go with. Maybe from what we saw on Friday, maybe we get Cody winning the title in a shocker, which doesn't make any sense to me because why would you have him go into Mania as the WWE champion when the whole point was to change things up and have him walk into Mania without the title? Maybe we get Cody Randy. Then we get Drew versus Nick Aldis. And then maybe we get Sammy versus Fatu. I don't know. Do you think that's the way that they go? I don't think that's the way they go. I think that's a plan C or plan D. I think we get a fatal four-way. Drew, Randy, Cody, Fatu. I don't think we get Sammy on the WrestleMania card unless they want to put him in a one-on-one match with Trick Williams. Because they've been going at it. They've had words. This is what we're left with. This is what we're left with. All in all, this Elimination Chamber was a thumbs down show. Thumbs down show. I don't know how you guys felt about it. Last year's Chamber was tremendous. This year's Chamber, not so much. Not so much. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream tonight. We had 4,500 people in here. 1,500 likes is definitely doable. We got 4,500 people in here. We need another 200 likes. Can we get another 200 likes for tonight's stream? Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out in just a second. Got to shout out my sponsor for tonight's show. Ted N is back, huh? Get him out. Ted N is back in the chat. Goodbye. Tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Mars Men. Man, Elimination Chamber is the kind of night where you see who's built for it and who is not. Randy Orton RKO'd his way straight to the WrestleMania main event. Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Chamber and punches her ticket to a championship match at WrestleMania. High pressure, high stakes, no room for low energy. And then you had Danhausen debut. And that building let him know real quick whether he was ready or not. That's the thing about moments like that. You either show up ready or the crowd exposes you. And I think a lot of guys can relate to that feeling outside the ring too. Not dramatic, just subtle. Energy dips. Workouts are not hitting the same. Focus fading during long days. You're not falling apart. You're just not operating at full throttle. I started looking into ways to feel sharper this year without going down the injection route. That's when I started taking Mars Men. Mars Men is a potent and natural testosterone stacked, designed to optimize your body's ability to forge usable testosterone. No synthetics, no needles, no dependency, just real ingredients that support healthy T levels, stamina, and recovery. For me, it's steady drive, better consistency in the gym, cleaner focus during long streams. I feel more present, more locked in, not spiking, not crashing, just solid. And that's what you want. Orton level composure, Rhea level intensity, not booed out of the building energy like Danhausen. It's made in the USA, third-party tested, and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Over 91% of users report higher energy levels, and I understand why. If you're trying to bring main event level energy into 2026 without shutting your body down long-term, this is worth looking into. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. It's a perfect way to start 2026. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Off the Script and JD from NY sent you. Once again, that's mengotomars.com 50% off for life and 3 free gifts. Let's get into these super chats. Going to start at the top here with my guy, Mike. Oh, actually, no, Michael Krause is not number 1. Oh, my goodness. Tone C. With a $2 super chat, he leaves me a metal horn emoji. Rock on, brother. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD OTS, are you ready? The crate is here. Yeah. Thomas Malloy with a $1.99. I love Kiana James. I can see why. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Punk Balor was a good match despite being predictable, but what the fuck with that crate reveal is Danhausen. Talk about a huge letdown. Triple H is really losing it. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. The box was a big waste of time. I'm sorry. Yeah, the box wasn't received very well tonight. How did you guys feel about the box, chat? Give me a thumbs down emoji if you hated it, a thumbs up emoji if you liked it. Let's see. Michael also says, congratulations to Randy Orton. Chicago for MBK. $2 super chat. Men's Chamber was the worst match of the night. Both chamber matches were probably the worst match of the night. Yeah. The 2 singles matches were better. Also with a $2 super chat, WWE deserves all the boost for that Danhausen reveal. Michelle with a $5 super chat. Not a bad chamber match. Nice to finally have Seth back and revealed as the masked man. And I wonder if Seth staring at Cody will mean anything. A lot of thumbs down emojis for Danhausen's reveal. Now, Seth wants his World's Heavyweight title back. The one that the Vision took away from him. Tommy Brannigan with 49 months. What a way to end the chamber, JD and the OTS family. Now we get closer to WrestleMania. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. Outside the horrific box reveal, the chamber was mid. Last few minutes of the men went by way too quick to digest properly. They label these shows, remember, Nathan, as premium live events. There's nothing premium about them. Richard Cohn with a 12 months. Hey, Jade, the Elimination Chamber was really good. It was a lot better than Raw and SmackDown combined. Richard, no, I don't think it was really good. I think it was really bad, actually. Chicago for MBK with the $2 super chat. They should not have Cody beat Drew next week. I don't think they will. I don't think they beat Drew next week. Grant 94 with a $5 super chat. Fatu and maybe even an angry Sammy will get involved in the championship match on SmackDown. Hopefully Seth will kick off Raw. The pop will be insane. Will we finally get the road to WrestleMania to begin on Monday? I'm waiting. Also with a $2 super chat, Sesame Street Levesque needs to shake this shit up. I agree. Nathan Rush with a $5 super chat. JD, your reaction to Triple H saying Randy winning was a moment no one expected and one hell of a swerve on the road to WrestleMania. Triple H said Randy winning was a moment and no one expected it. Bro, I predicted this for 3 straight fucking weeks. What is he talking about? Fallen Exposure with the $2 Super Chat. Red Skies night for sure. Oh, yeah. Double Red Skies. Richard Cohen with a $10 Super Chat. Tonight's show was so much better than SmackDown and Raw combined. But I will say it was very predictable and you called it. You know what you're talking about. You, Jesse, and Solomons are the best. Yeah. Thank you, Richard. DJ55 with a $1.99 in the box. Should have been the real Jim Carrey. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that was that I seen floating around on social media. If you guys are not aware of this, Jim Carrey was either cloned or stunt doubled for his recent award acceptance. That is not the real Jim Carrey. Captain Solo with the $2 Super Chat. LA Knight is done, boxed himself into oblivion. Bro, he's finished. This is what we want to see against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Can you believe that? Can you believe that was even an idea? Grant 94, $2 Super Chat. I almost thought Cody was getting taken out early. Nah, it was always going to be Cody and Randy. They built it up on television. It was the only thing that made sense. Twister 1296 with a $4.99. Royal Rumble was shit. Elimination Chamber sucked. This is the worst start to a WWE year since 2019. Ooh. It's tough to argue, Twister. Prodigy Freebird with 53 months. I don't get to watch you much live anymore. Been studying for the SIE. Cheers to 53 months. JD is the best in the IWC. Prodigy, I hope you are well, brother. Thank you for showing up tonight. Thomas, 30 months. When I'm using my cell phone for 70% of the show, then that's a terrible show. 1.5 out of 5 for the Elimination Chamber. Man, that is terrible. Wonder what ESPN's going to give the show, ratings-wise. Maybe they give it a C. Effin' Raw with a $100 Super Chat. Thank you again, brother, for your generosity. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I answered your questions. More likely heel turn, Orton or Rhodes. Orton, but I'd love it to be Rhodes. Will they have the balls to take the title off Drew on Friday? They won't, in my opinion. It's the wrong move. Rollins is revealed. Will they explain why Theory was first masked and now they're connected? Or how they're connected? EO Mania match versus who? I guess because they did it to... Yeah, you know, that's weird. The masked man was Austin Theory, so I guess Rollins wanted to play the game the Vision was playing back at them, is the only thing I can think of. And EO, the only thing that makes sense is a match with Julia for the United States title. I figured they saved that for Italy, Clash in Italy. I still firmly believe Rhea and EO would have been the match to do. Captain Solo with a $5 Super Chat. Did Triple H and Bruce Prichard really believe that Danhausen garbage was going to go over well with these people in Chicago? They can't be this stupid. Well, apparently they are. Apparently they are. Raw Swish with a 2. No message. Thank you, Raw. Ryan Matthew Russo with a $5 Super Chat. Green shirt guy doesn't even show up anymore. It's gotten that bad. Well, no, that's just because they're not comping tickets for friends and family. Raw Swish with a 1. Thank you, Raw. Joseph Taylor, $5 Super Chat. Elimination Chamber, 5 out of 10. If you're Irish like me, JD, happy early St. Patrick's Day. I have Guinness already on ice. WrestleMania, $9.99. Bro, there is zero hype for Mania here in Vegas. Have you seen these Metallica Sphere ticket prices? I have not. Nor do I want to. Whatever they're charging, Metallica ain't worth it at this age. They're fucking crazy. Also, the women of the Judgment Day have always been the faction's main characters. All stars. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. When it takes an entire month for the wrestlers to get in the fucking pod, why wouldn't the crowd be dead? Side of the hand with a $1.99. Silence indicates fans have been priced out. Yep. The real fans don't even show up anymore. WWE has priced out the real wrestling fans in Chicago. Clone Force with 22 months. I've been working on Uber Eats for a month as a side job, and it's going good. I made $501 this week. I was listening to your podcast while working on Uber Eats. Glad I could keep you company, Clone Force. Love hearing it. Pandy, I am never getting cloned, bro. I think if I was cloned, you'd know the real clone or the real me from the clone. Lennon with a 20. This show was actually hard to watch. Yeah. It was pretty bad. Dave Scheffler with a 2. Danhausen was like a fart in the wind. Terrible. Lennon. Fucking embarrassing. Lorgasmic. $5 super chat. Hate to say it, but Vince was right about LA Knight. He needs to retire or be a manager. Always botches, and unlike Jay, he won't be given a belt for it. I like LA Knight. I'm an LA Knight guy, but man, that was tough to watch, man. I got secondhand embarrassment from watching that shit. Like, I know nobody's perfect and everyone's going to have an off night, but when the product is already suffering and this show was already fucking bad up until this point, and then you see that, bro, you just want to throw your hands in the air and just pray for it to be over. Andre Benson with a $2 super chat. Was going to Raw Monday. After tonight, I am not going. Brother, go to Raw. It may actually be better than whatever they gave us tonight. Yeah, my clone will be a Yankees fan. Ray Reezy with an I-99. JD, you have 3 choices. Listen to Stephanie's new theme for 24 hours straight. Listen to Jordan Grace's theme for 24 hours straight. Or take a beating in a room from Brock Lesnar for 24 hours straight. I'm taking Stephanie's new theme for 24 hours straight. Thank you, Ray Reezy. Deet for Dubs with a $10 super chat. Damn near a third of this show was completely lifeless. Happy for Randy, but I'm still not sold on this year's WrestleMania. In fact, no one is LA Knight getting buried more into the ground by the minute. No one is sold on this year's WrestleMania. LA Knight is getting buried more into the ground by the minute. Bro, LA Knight may actually completely miss the WrestleMania card. Fast Eddie with a $4.99. Why is it every Monday Night Raw is good after a pay-per-view event recently? Because they realized the fan reaction to it was fucking terrible, and then they show their best face on Monday. Philuminati with a 5. Please let this birth the one-on-one feud between Cody and Randy. We're heading towards it. I firmly believe we are heading towards it. Hula Grim, 5 years, 60 months. You've been my safe haven since 2014. Thank you for over a decade of content and letting me be myself here. OTS for life. Brother, I'm the lucky one. We've cultivated a great community here. You are at the top of that, brother. Thank you. Brewing questions with a 199. Entrances over 17 minutes. If Jay was in it, bro, we would have ran it back 3 times. Cake with a $2 super chat. Randy should win, but Triple H needs to okay the 15-time champ. Triple H protecting his own accolades at the cost of others? Shocking. Tyson Cook with a new membership. Tyson. That's A, false, because I see a title belt emoji next to your name, so I know that you're here a long time. Either way, recommitment. Thank you, Tyson. 009.5. I just got done watching Unreal Season 2 this week, and I find it funny how that writing team gets excited for a fucking spot going right when they don't give a shit about telling a good story. This shit sucks, bro. MJF is defending his world title against Kevin Knight. What? Why? What has Kevin Knight done to earn a title match? Doesn't that devalue the world championship? Why doesn't anybody take AEW to be serious? Shit like that. That's fucking terrible, man. El Mase with 31 months. Marathon is like watching an adult entertainment film without the spicy scenes. Or like watching AEW. Bro, Marathon's been deleted off my PlayStation, man. Not happening ever again. AJBZ 1994 the 5. Thank you for all that you do, JD. Keep being you. Thank you, AJ. TJ Weller with a $10 super chat. JD, don't ever stop telling the truth because I know for a fact you're going to be on Sirius or even bigger. You are the man, and I'm having me a Miller's High Life. Cheers, buddy. Enjoy that cold beverage, TJ. Love to hear it. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Jacob's teeth are in the jar. LOL. Maybe. Lennon with a $20 super chat. Danhausen, worst debut since the Shockmaster. I won't go that far. TJ Weller with a $5 super chat. One of my favorite Alter Bridge songs is Wayward One. And when you get a chance, you should check out Iron Angel's Wind of War album. Wayward One is a great song. Jaden Mercer Pro with a $9.99. Hi, JD. I tried to send you an inquiry. Not sure you got it. Please let me know if you're interested. You got to tell me where, brother. You sent me an inquiry where? Illuminati with a $5 super chat. As soon as LA Knight botched, it proved Cody right that WWE needs more house shows. Or maybe he should just stop doing the fucking move. How about that? Mac Daddy with a $5 super chat. LA Knight still looks very green in the ring to a point where he needs to go to the Performance Center for 6 months to regain some confidence. Go Mets. Pitchers and catchers, right? Or, no, they've already started. Spring training this month. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that time of year, man. Caden with a $1.99. This show was straight shit. Also with a $1.99. Roxanne vs. AJ Lee. IC title, please. If Roxanne can get healthy, that is. She's out injured right now. Illuminati with a $20 super chat. I'm definitely hoping Randy winning sets up Cody to win this coming Friday. Randy vs. Cody has been one of my dream WrestleMania matches and feuds since Cody returned. at WrestleMania 38. Let 09 Randy win at WrestleMania. It's a possibility. I don't think that's the right move. Let Drew take it into Mania. We're there. We're 7 weeks away. It would be awful to take it off of him before we get there. Lauren with a 2. Turn Aldis heel. Too much of a Cody fanboy he is. Eric Beltran with a $4.99. JD, you the man. This show is absolute garbage. Can you call my brother Jason a mark? Love you, JD. Keep it up. Jason, you're a fucking mark. And please don't tell me you like this show. This show is fucking as offensive as they come. Stop accepting mediocrity. Start wanting better pro wrestling. This ain't it from either WWE or AEW. Slimed you out with a $4.99. $11 for a hot dog, $21 for margaritas, $8.50 small cup of fries, $11.25 large fountain drink. I took my fiance to our first WWE show. Hashtag news and rumors. Bro, what did you spend on this outing with your fiance? It sounds like at least $1,000 in the hole. $11 for a hot dog? Was it grilled or was it boiled in shitty water? $21 for a margarita? You can come over to the house, down to the basement where the bar is. I'll make you one that's better. $8.50 for a small cup of fries? Fried in what? The most unhealthiest of oils, I'm sure. $11.25 for a sugary fountain drink that you can go buy at this food store for $2. Fuck out of here. That's insane. Hopefully you had a good time, though, brother. Hopefully she had a good time. Prana with a super chat. I've been with you since 17. I lost my mother early in 17, and your podcast played a huge role during those hard times. Hello to Jesse and the Solid Monster. Prana. Thank you. That means more to me than any of the donations tonight. When you guys tell me that you ride with me because of a situation like that and how you find escape in what we do here, man, I love it. Wish you nothing but the best, Prana. Chico with a $1.99. Chico leaves no message. Rick Kobos with a $2 super chat. Anarchy Rules 99 booking. Ed EO. Jade gone first. No, we're not adding EO. If you want to go that route, why didn't we just go Alexa winning it and then adding Charlotte? Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Does Seth cost Roman the title? Thoughts, JD? Could be. Could be. We may be on the road to Rollins and Reigns at SummerSlam. Could be. Juggalo Man with a $1.99. Punk, Reigns, who you got, JD? Going over. Punk. Roman Reigns is a part-timer. He's not winning the world title. Unless Roman has secretly told WWE he's willing to show up 2 to 3 times a month, every month, I don't see Roman winning. Glow J with a 5. Maybe Raw and SmackDown could use some Blue Chew. Maybe we will see some real action. LOL. The thing that came out of the box should have stayed in it. They should send Danhausen back to the fucking place in which he came. I agree. Staying off Code Podcast. $4.99. When you say night is done, you mean done in WWE, the main event card or wrestling period? I mean the main event. I think this theory that LA Knight is going to be the world champion, I think that notion is finished. Craig with the 32 months. You're the best of the best. OTS for life. Thank you, Craig. C. Styles with a $5 super chat. What the fuck are you drinking? I just had about 3 Tsingtaos, Chinese lager, out on 2nd Avenue and missed the Elimination Chamber. Thanks for the recap. Tsingtaos, huh? I never had Tsingtao. Not a big lager guy. Flips Corner with a $2 super chat. JD, will you stream RE9 on Twitch? It looks insane. Haven't decided yet, Flips. I bought the game. It's downloaded. I don't know where I'm covering the game. Let Maine with a 20. What's up, JD? Any possibility Punk turns heel at Mania with the help from The Rock and retains the title? And they set up Rock versus Roman and a heel Punk versus babyface Rollins for the title. Night 1 and Night 2 main events of SummerSlam. You want Punk to go heel? I don't think Punk is going heel. Not now, anyway. I would rather Cody go heel. Miku Glazer Nate TV with 43 months. Proud to be a member. It's now past midnight, and in 7 days, it's going to be 5 years ago since I found this channel. I've barely missed a stream since. I know. Listen, bro, you've been here every night. Every night. Appreciate it, Nate. 43 months is a long time, brother. Lord Maestro with the 499. I wanted to send some love. This PLE was predictable, and it's bad if I can say who will win. Danhausen was set for failure. This road to WrestleMania sucks. It's pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Danhausen gave me gobbledygooker vibes. I heard that. I heard that going around. Rich Gamble with 46 months. Fan of what you do for about 3 years now. Keep up the great content. Awesome work. Much love to you and the OTS family. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for 46 months. And Jaden, he retracted his message with a $9.99. Where am I seeing your message, bro? You got to let me know. Is it Instagram, Twitter, in the DMs, email? Where is it? And Captain Solo comes in late here with a $5 super chat. LA Knight's career is picking up where Dolph Ziggler's career left off. Down the toilet. OTS for life. Bro, Dolph is exceptional. LA Knight is not on Dolph Ziggler's level. Come on now. Guys, thank you very much, man. We are nearing 3 hours for tonight's post show, man. Holy shit. We had a lot to say, huh? Crazy. You guys are great. Thank you very much for all your support, man. I'll be live again. I'm taking the day off tomorrow just to rest and recharge. Monday we'll be live for the Monday Night Raw post show, the fallout from the Chamber. Rollins is going to be on the show. Maybe Danhausen. We got Punk and Roman on Monday. We'll see, man. They gotta turn this shit up big time. Turn it up. But tonight, you guys killed it, man. We had 4,700 people in here on a Saturday night for the Elimination Chamber. #1 in the community by far, man. Love to see it. You guys continue to make this show as powerful and influential and as big as any other show in the community, man. I love it. Monday, we'll be live. Tuesday, Solid Monster and I will talk about this on TNT. Well, I'm sure that's going to be a very interesting episode. Wednesday night, Dynamite. And then Thursday, I'm flying to Chicago. I'll be in Chicago Thursday, Friday for House of Glory. And we'll be doing the deal there for House of Glory Wrestling on Friday night. Turf Wars, Logan Square Auditorium. Show up. Let me know if you guys are coming. Would love to meet some of you out there. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Have we hit the 1,500 likes? 20 more likes. 20 more likes for 1,500. They're in the chat. Hit it. Leave a comment while you're at it. And thank you guys for the super chat love. MenGoToMars.com. Support the sponsor. I'll see you live Monday right here for Monday Night Raw. I'll see you guys later.